The Aces are in really big trouble. They're in seriously big trouble. And I don't think people realize this. Like, the Aces are still currently the second favorite to win the WNBA in Vegas. I think that's just from fools putting in their money and they don't realize who this team is. But they're in big trouble. As recently as a year ago, there were articles saying the Aces are the next great American sports dynasty, the first repeat champions in 2 decades, and one of the best teams ever seen in basketball, a proof of concept for investment in women's sports. I think we can admit that. They didn't fluke it. They fluked the final series with, like, Sydney Colson playing huge minutes. Like, how they won that is beyond me. But fair play to Aja. Fair play. Like, Aja Wilson was fantastic. But they're in a really bad spot right now. We got to look at this Aces team. You have got 1.5 million in cap space. Between Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Aja Wilson, and Jewel Lloyd, you are paying $900K. Jewel Lloyd is on a supermax. Jackie Young is on a supermax. Aja Wilson is just on what was the max at the time she signed it. Same with Chelsea Gray. You have got 4 players on basically maxes or supermaxes. Then you have, like, one, you have to pay Alicia Clark. Then you have got Kia Stokes contracted about $100K. You've got Meg Gustafson at $95K. So you're looking at 7 players. You've got 5 players. And what do you have to fill out with those 5 players? You've got, what's it, like 400K-ish? You have a 400K-ish for 5 players. And that basically means you can sign 1 decent player and 4 minimum contracts. And Alicia Clark is probably not playing for the minimum. And by the way, they still have to find a way to pay Tiffany Hayes, who will probably command a max from somewhere. Tiffany Hayes, if you are the Chicago Sky, you want to pay every cent to Tiffany Hayes to try come. Like, Tiffany Hayes could be exceptional. So Tiffany Hayes, who said she was only going to go back to the Aces, is now taking meetings with teams. There are going to be teams that, like, there are genuinely going to be teams when it comes to Tiffany Hayes that'll pay her more than the Aces, and she's happy with that. She'll get her max rather than play for the minimum. You're going to have to find vets that are willing to play for the minimum, which don't exist. They're looking at Cheyenne Parker-Tyus. Parker-Tyus is going to cost a minimum $135K. And that basically puts you in a position where you have to sign everyone on the minimum. You've got Liz Kitley on a minimum. Cool. You've got Kirsten Bell, who's still on the roster for some reason, who's not on a minimum. You're going to have to cut her. You're going to have to cut so many people. And you're going to have to use all three of your second round picks in a squad. So it's a team that goes, 7.5 deep if you can keep Alicia Clark. And that includes a 7 deep. That includes freaking Meg Gustafson in that. Like, you're going to have to play Kia Stokes some big minutes. Like, this team has lost Kelsey Plum. They've probably lost Alicia Clark. They've definitely lost Tiffany Hayes. They've lost the all-star that was Chelsea Gray. Like, Chelsea Gray is a fine point guard, but she's barely a starting level point guard right now. She's fine. Like, we can be honest here. Chelsea Gray is absolutely fine. But she's not this, like, unbelievable point guard that people would say anymore. Like, people are talking about. She's not the point guard anymore. She's just a point guard. She's just another point guard. This is not playoff Chelsea Gray. This is not all the positive things with Chelsea Gray. That player does not exist anymore. She's not a bad player by any means. I'm not trying to diminish Chelsea Gray. She's just had too many injuries. She's just had way too many injuries. And yeah, it's just a tough one. It is really just a tough one for the Aces because you have no flexibility. You have downgraded with Jewel Lloyd versus Kelsey Plum. You have got the worst, like, the biggest shot chucker in the W last year. Chelsea Gray is not getting younger and she's not getting faster. Jackie Young has just gotten hurt and unrivaled. Like, I don't know the severity of her injury, but, like, she showed up to unrivaled hurt, and that could have been a bad knee injury. And look, Aja Wilson still might be the best player on the planet. She just might be the best player on the planet. But like when you are coming up against the Mercury, who have one of the 4 best players on the planet, alongside one of the 2 more of the 12 best players on the planet, and one of the 20 best players on the planet in Leonie Fibic, and one of the 30 best players on the planet in Benijah Laney Hamilton. When you're the Aces and your 3rd best player might not be... I don't know if Jewel Lloyd's better than Laney Hamilton. Your 3rd best player is that. And then with the Liberty, you've got depth. You've got Niara. You've got like Kenny Burke's okay. You got the 7th pick. You've depth. You've a much better starting 5 and depth. And then the Lynx, who are just quality. The Fever, what the Fever have done. Heck, even the Mercury. I have them ranked as the 5th best team. I don't know why, who has them anywhere near title favourites, because they should not be that. And yeah, like, it's very much a fact. Like, the Las Vegas Aces, the dynasty that lasted 2 years is over. It's over. Like, there is investment in women's sports. The league maybe doesn't get to the spot where it is without the Aces. Like, you give credit where credit's due to that franchise. But at this point in time, they are so much worse than last year. Like, people are like, oh, this is a team who spent the majority of last year as the 5th seed. They were the 5th, 6th seed for a lot of last year. They were hovering around 500 for a while. And they've got significantly worse. So for me, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a team that is probably going to lose Tiffany Hayes, possibly going to lose Alicia Clark, has lost Kate Martin, has lost Kelsey Plum, and you've gained Jewel Lloyd, who at times can be a negative on the floor for your team. Like, it's just not. It's not looking good. And if you're an Aces fan, look, the Aces have that extra. The positive thing with the Aces is maybe they can convince a lot of people to come on the vets minimum because they have that extra 100K. Because they have that 100K. But like that, if that's going to be a loophole, every single team's going to do that. By the way, you know the way, oh yeah, they got the 100K for the tourism board. Every team's going to do that. We've seen Indiana win some award with the tourism board. If they can give their players an extra 100K, in the city of Indiana is going to do it. If that loophole is still a thing, every team's going to do it. So it's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but like, still like, it's just, I don't feel bad, to be fair. I actually don't feel bad at all for the Aces. But yeah, it's more than likely done. The dynasty's over. The dynasty that lasted 2 years is almost certainly over. So yeah, I'll see you guys.